On this week's episode of Ask Ethan, we're touching on what does a buyer's closing day look like? So you've made it to closing day, congratulations, and now you're super excited to get into your home, but when do you get the keys? When do you get to move in? What does that day look like when you get to close on your new home? That's a great question. So typically we'll do a buyer walkthrough before closing. Sometimes that's the day before, sometimes that's the hour or two before the same day. So that's all up to the agent and you on when you want to do that, how close to closing you want to do it. So on that day, you may do a walkthrough of the home. That's just gonna check and see if there's any issues with the home, make sure everything's still in great condition, make sure everything that was supposed to be left there was left there. After that, you're gonna go to your closing. So the closing is gonna occur typically at your lender's office or at an attorney's office or at a settlement company's office if you're doing a cash closing or someone's meeting you somewhere. So you're gonna meet with either a lender, a closer, or a lender more than likely. At that point, usually it's gonna be you, the buyer, the agent, and then whoever the closing person is. Sometimes the lender shows up as well. The sellers are not at that closing, so you don't have to worry about any awkwardness of meeting the seller if you had any iffy situations. At the closing is gonna typically take about 30 minutes to sometimes up to an hour. So it's not a super long process, depends on how many documents you have to sign for the bank, or on the cash closing, it can take as quick as 10 to 15 minutes. So that's kind of the timeline. Now, after you sign, most of the time you're gonna get possession right away, unless you negotiated that otherwise in the purchase agreement. So at that time, you should receive the keys from your agent at closing, which is a super excited time for us as agents to be able to slide the keys over to you to your new home. And then after that, you should be able to start moving in. And then once you close on the home, there should be no waiting period unless you, once again, negotiated otherwise. And you can go straight to your home after that, and you are officially a homeowner.